It was a crazy end to the game, a completely different second half to the first half that we saw. First of all, talk us through what you saw with that penalty decision right at the end.
No, I think it's a soft touch. It was not from what I saw. I don't like to talk, especially when the game is finished in a few minutes, but I think it was a soft penalty. It was clear.
Are you pleased with the point?
No, if you start the game without the first half and losing 2-0, it's a good point. But we need to win 3 points and we need to play all the game.
Is that the most disappointing part, the fact that you managed to find yourself in a position to be 2 goals down heading into the second half?
Of course, but that is not the worst part. The worst part is that we have the free men. We are losing ball without any pressure. I mean, we are not doing what's supposed to do, and then it's really hard. And then we suffered 2 goals in second balls, and that was clear that they will in training and continue to do the same. That's why in the second half we didn't change nothing. We have to do the same thing, but in a good way.
The 2 goals that were scored today both came from set pieces. Is scoring goals in the team still an issue for you?
Yes, not just scoring goals, but also create a lot of chances. We have to improve on that. But last game also we had chances. This game also we struggle with scoring goals.
Everyone can see that you so desperately want to make a success at Manchester United. Why haven't you been able to do that consistently so far with the results?
I don't know. If I know, I will change it. We have to continue to think in the next game. And everything we do during the week, we have to use it in the game. And if we do that, we are near to win games like we did in the second half. If we don't, we are not going to win.
How can you make this team better then between now and the end of the season?
In this moment, we need to focus on day by day. We need to survive this season. That is clear, and then to think ahead. But we have so many problems, and then when you go to the game and we let the time pass, it's really hard. Of course, I don't want to say just the negative part. The second half was so much better, and you believe, and in the end, I think we were near to win this game also.
Thanks, Ruben.
Thank you.
Into the game. Do you feel like you were let off the hook a bit with that penalty decision?
No. The referee said the hand was very close from the body, so there's nothing to do with that. We had our chances in the second half, but the problem is we start the game too late. We gave it away in the first half. I think we didn't have enough movement. We were too static, and it was difficult to create some situations. We did create with some 1-2s and stuff like that, but we need to start the games better. We know that. We spoke in the half-time that we can, every time that we concede a goal and we are down, it's the only time when we start and we think that, now we can take a little bit more risk, now we can go forward, now we can pass forward. We need to start the game like that because we are in a situation where we have to win games and create chances to score goals.
It was a fight back, though. You've managed to come away from Goodison Park with a point. What was the key to turning the game around?
Oh, to stick to the plan. That's what the manager was very upset with us, to try to stick with the plan that we had during the season, to make it work. Even if the things were not going well, we have to stick to what our ideas are, and that's what we did in the second half with much more freedom, much more movement. But as I said, we are 2-0 down. You have nothing to lose, so you start to get more into the game. But
just 15 points from a possible 45 under Ruben Amorim. Are you as players feeling like you're making any improvements?
No, of course you feel it, but the results don't say that. And obviously this club is all about results, and we know that. We are aware of that. We need to be aware of the position we are in the table, and you have to do much more. We have to do much more all together. Me for first. Everyone has to lift the standards of each other and try to push each other to end the season in the best way possible.
Brilliant free kick, and today you're the player of the match. Well done.
Thank you very much.
If he knew the answers to how to turn this around, he would be doing it, Rio. But also that they need to play the whole game. Did you only see decent Man United play for about 15-20 minutes there?
Yeah, and up until they scored, they looked like a broken team. They looked like a team that mentally looked broken. They looked scared. They looked scared to take the ball. They looked scared to pass the ball to teammates. They looked scared to take any risks. And One thing you heard about him in what he just said there, he said about we're going to stick to what we do and we're not going to change things. And there's a stubbornness there, which I understand. But I think in today's game, when you watch the game today, when you're so scared and you haven't got no confidence, to keep playing out and playing intricate football, that's very difficult even when you're confident. So sometimes maybe go back to front a little bit. I don't care. We came in here in our pomp when we were flying as a team that were winning things, right? And we used to have to change a little bit of details. Not a whole philosophy or a whole identity, but for moments in the game, you do something a little bit different. And then you feed your way into the game and then go back to actually what makes you a great team, or your philosophy that you live and die by. But there are times in games where I think managing moments where you go, we're going to do something different to get us up the pitch, to put Everton on the back foot maybe. You've got Højlund up front. Never run into the channel once. But the ball's not going in there to tell him to go in there, and he's not running in there. Xerxes the same. And I think you can't just... I think there's moments in games when you go to certain places in this country. I know he's inexperienced in this country, he doesn't know yet, but you come into places like this, that it demands you to sometimes do different things. And that's football. That's not going away from who you are. It's just momentarily maybe you do that to get a foothold in the game.
So did he get the starting lineup wrong? Because the subs obviously help, but did that starting lineup not even look right on paper? Duncan.
Man United.
Yeah.
Well, he only made one change, I think, didn't he, for the last game? I don't think it was nothing to do with the starting lineup. I know the subs come on and made a bit of difference, but they encouraged Everton to come on top of them. So the first 5 or 10, 15 minutes of the game, you know what's going to happen against Everton. They're going to press you. They're going to put you under pressure. What did Man United do? They played short. They played short balls, and Everton smothered them. They smothered them and never gave them any breathing space. And Man United never adapted their play. You've got to go the other way sometimes. And as Rio was saying in there, in the first half particularly, they never once turned Everton's back line. Everything was towards the ball, and Everton smothered them. And they were more aggressive as well, Everton. So Man United definitely need to mix it up much more. I think the manager's shown a little bit of inexperience in the British game, coming to Goodison. In these circumstances, you've got to turn Everton's defence. They never did that. They encouraged Everton to smother them.
Let's work our way through this from the beginning then, because that seems the easiest way to do it. Beto opened the scoring for Everton, Duncan, but Manchester United had chances to clear the corner.
They did more aggression. There was more aggression in Everton all over the pitch in the first 45 minutes. They wanted the second ball. They got on the second and third. They made the first contact, second contact. They got on the ball, and they had more aggression in their play, particularly in the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, 5 in 4 games for Beto. His confidence just continues to grow. Yeah,
it looks like a reborn player. And David Moyes said before the game alongside us here that he wasn't playing with Sean Dyche. He's lucky to get in the team because of an injury to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But since he's come in there, I think he's worked his way into form through hard work and being ugly, playing an ugly side of the game.
Absolutely. I mean, Sean Dyche brought him to the club. He never played him, did he? David Moyes came in, never really started him as well. And as you said, a couple of injuries. And he's obviously been working really hard in the training ground. And as we talked about at the start of the programme, running away through the ball. Running away through the ball, and there it is. That's his strength. Running away through the ball with a great pass in and great finish. And again, Desire, the Everton player's up first. He's up first. The Man United boys are waiting for things, and they waited for things in the whole first 45 minutes.
Corey wasn't waiting for anyone, though, was he, Rio? Kept on the move and got his reward.
Yeah, and I mean, we highlighted Harry Maguire, and I think Harry Maguire was disappointed with both aspects of that goal. In terms of the first bit where he gets running behind and then loses out to this duel here. You'd expect him to get up early and to kind of dominate that situation. I think Onana maybe might have been able to get up a bit quicker as well. But I would say the running power for Everton in the first half was really a big difference. I think that goal there, Decore runs past probably 4 or 5 Man United players in the midfield area. Here's the difference. You look at the difference in transition for the Everton players. Look at the blue shirts running back, swarming back, going to swamp this player on the red shirt here. 2v1, make it impossible for him to get out. Look at the blue shirts, man to man, up against people. That's a desire. That's not really about coaching. That's about wanting to run. That's about... It's harder to coach tactically than saying, listen, you make sure you run. And time again, that man's team won every single duel when it was about.
Certainly in the first 45 minutes, Everton were well ahead of Man United. Man United were so far off it, and as Rio says, in the transitions, especially the defensive transitions, they were miles off. They just weren't running. Everton were running much harder in that first half.
So,
and as it went on, the second half particularly, Everton then started to sit off to play a wee bit too much, you know.
But there's no hiding places for the main.
first half performance.
That bit there, for me, isn't tactics. That's saying, are you willing to run? Are you understanding when you're meant to run, and are you willing to actually roll your sleeves up and run hard over the course of 90 minutes? And we've had to wait until Man United get a goal from the talisman, from the inspirational Bruno Fernandes, and then they woke up, and then they were running. That's not good enough.
I just like to say it's habits. Man United have got into bad habits. Okay, you can train that. You can train defensive transitions. There's no excuse. You can run, but you can also train it. So bad habits. They fell into bad habits. They need to work on that in the coaching ground. They need to work hard on the defensive.
Yeah, but did you need to be told to run?
No, and no, really, no. But I mean, you can still coach it real. You can still coach it. Believe it or not, you can push them in training and then get into good habits. Then Man United have fell into bad habits in defensive transitions.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying there, but I would say as well that you look at it and go, why is he not getting any more out of these players? And I think when I sat with him yesterday, and you sit and listening to him, I think the scars on these players are so deep.
But isn't part of his job to build confidence? And we keep hearing from him, you know, the implication that the players aren't good enough, the levels aren't good enough. Isn't that part of his job to lift that confidence? Lift that confidence,
but also, look, there's players there, I'm sure there's players there you don't want, that he thinks are dead wood, but he's got to work with them.
But you've got to work with what you've got.
He's got to work with what he's got, and maybe that's why he didn't want to come during the season. Maybe that's why he wanted to delay and come in the summer, but you're not often offered the opportunity to come to Man United, and they gave him an ultimatum, and he said, right, I've got to take it.
But isn't
De Ligt pull him, and the foul was on De Ligt, so...
Which makes me believe that the referee didn't give the penalty for shirt pulling. Right. Because if he had seen the shirt pull, he would have said, hang on, no, I saw a shirt pull, not that.
That's a good point.
So it makes me believe that the referees bought the dive as if it was a trip.
Right.
But that's what VAR are there for, to assist him.
Mike, you need to get a show on this, man.
I know.
The problem is he hasn't got one for 3 weeks. Oh, dearie me. Right, OK, we are one down.